Hello, this is Demon Phoenix, continuing with my Deathmarch No Armour walkthrough. So first things first, this is episode 3, picking up where we left off, and just a straight live stream from Twitch, and then will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards. So let's see how we go here. Before I do the Devil in the Well contract, which is the side quest where you have to take on a Wraith, I'm just going to make sure that I pick up this place of power that's being guarded by a bear usually. Now the bear is level 6 if I remember correctly, so you want to be at least level 2 before you take it on, usually, because otherwise it will have a red skull, and that will make it a lot harder, because any red skull enemies, they take less damage and inflict more damage, and so they're just generally harder to take on. So I'm already at level 2 here. I've done the first part of the story mission, spoken to Tomira and everything like that, and I'm just going to go and check out this bear and get the place of power before I do anything else, which I believe is the last ability point that I need for muscle memory. So let's just see how it goes. Now this is a live commentary playthrough, obviously. I've not played it No Armour before. I just thought it'd be an interesting challenge, and before I take on this bear I'm going to make sure I have my potions, so already got plenty of alcohol just from looting random stuff, and we've got good amount of healing from Gourmet as well, which is one of the most powerful things that you can get, and makes food last for 20 minutes, so we should be absolutely fine there. Just got Quen up at the moment, and then once Quen is gone we'll be looking at the Tornial potion to hopefully get some stamina regeneration going. Increase that a little bit and let us get Quen up. One of the things I normally recommend getting really early, if you watched any of my Deathmarch walkthrough or anything like that, is that it's a really good idea to have Griffin School techniques with these starting armours, because it increases your stamina regeneration. But on a no armour playthrough, obviously that is not something that we're able to do. That's available to us, so we're going to have to think outside the box a little bit. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is instead by making sure that I'm using the Tornial potion wherever possible, and that'll necessitate meditating a little bit more often in order to make sure that we keep stamina regeneration as high as possible. So we just finished off muscle memory, and the other skill that we have there is Gourmet. A little bit of additional sign intensity there, because there's not really a whole lot of bonus from getting 50 vitality. That's virtually nothing on Deathmarch. So not something that we want to be doing there. So I've just got that place of power there, took out the bear fairly easily, and then I'm going to go and take out these ghouls. Now for the ghouls I'll want to be using necrophage oil, because I have got that. So far I've got the necrophage oil, spectre oil and the hydrid oil. Use the necrophage oil for these things, just a little bit of extra damage. I'm going to put Quen on before we go into battle so that your stamina build back up again, and you can start off with Igni and trying to burn the ghouls a little bit easier with like that. So you can see we're already doing high damage there with the fast attacks, and that's in large part due to the fact that we do have swords which you've already crafted. You get those in White Orchard as well, and they're so yeah, overall style of gameplay really out a little bit and just making sure you take as little damage as possible, and you want to keep Quen up because they will do a very large amount of damage, as you saw there, which is one of the reasons that we need to keep that up. So Tornial, just using Tornial and Swallow most of the time is a pretty good mix, and lets you keep Quen up at all times. And then if you get a chance you can also use the other signs and get a few hits in like that. That should be the abandoned site completed. And like I say, we're just making quite judicious use of potions for this particular playthrough, because normally you have Griffin School techniques, which is probably one of the very best things that you can have, but we can't use that on a playthrough with no armour because it won't do anything, because it's based on having your medium armour available to. So again, I always just have a quick check with alchemists, and normally buy a couple of ergo seeds, a couple of green mold, and have a look if they have any bison grass available, which this guy doesn't. And we'll find all of these things later, so not really any point buying them although the Wraith decoction would be pretty useful, it's not really worth it at the minute because I don't have the I don't have a high enough amount of alchemy toxicity recipes to be able to make any use of that yet. So nothing I really need to do there. And I don't have any honeycombs because I've already sold those to Tomira. So that's absolutely fine. That's another thing done there. And at the minute I've used up 1 Tornial and 2 Swallow, so before I head back I may just go and do the Devil in the Well. I should be alright with just 1 taunt. Save myself an alcohol that way, although I do have plenty of alcohol already, so it's not the greatest concern. I can always have a look at that already. I've got 8 Alcahest and a Dwarven Spirit still. Nilfgaardian Lemon and Temerian Rye, so doing fine for alcohol so far. I could easily meditate if I wanted to. May just do that to be on the safe side, because there's not that much stuff left to do in White Orchard, so I should be absolutely fine. But first I'm just going to go and do the Devil in the Well contract, and I'll probably have to meditate for the Noon Wraith to actually come out anyway, so it'll restock my potions then, so nothing to really worry about there. Just going to grab all this stuff. Got another Alcahest there, so again that's another meditate available, and another one there, so you do get plenty of the actual hard alcohol, Alcahest and Dwarven Spirit to be able to whenever you want, even though we're only on White Orchard at the minute. We've already got plenty of that, so just need to have a look and grab all this stuff. I do have a few YouTube videos already, and I think I put up some fairly good content, so you can always check that out. Phoenix237. And there we go, just getting a few of these things together.
All signs point to a Noon Wraith.
Noon Wraith. Devil by the Well. So we will need Spectre Oil, as that just said there. And you can nearly always find bear fat around here to make Spectre Oil, which is one of the things I did in the earlier episode. So even without having to take on that level 6 bear, you get bear fat just picking up from some of the chests around this area. So that should serve you fine for making that Spectre Oil, just to be able to do a little bit of extra damage to the Wraith. And if you've been watching my Deathmarch walkthrough or the earlier parts of this playthrough, you'll see how I got the places of power points and the order I did things in already, just to be able to in muscle memory before we do anything else. Right, so just have to remember how to do this contract now. Oh, poor Alexa. Or you can just be quiet. Alexa intruding on things there. There's the thing we were saying about bear fat.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the health section in your Alexa app.
Alexa being a pain in the neck.
Might be useful.
Only problem with live streaming, obviously, is it's going to pick up some of the background noise from the microphone, but never mind. See how we go. So.
Something's tied the Noon Wraith to this place.
Right, so just got to find out what ties the Noon Wraith to the area. Nothing in there. I believe it's on that last house on the left, actually. Been a while since I've done the actual start of Witcher 3. I did my New Game Plus playthrough and walkthrough for that. And that's very different from a No Armour playthrough, because on New Game Plus you can just run through everything with the proper build and Euphoria and everything else. So that's quite interesting. Follow the drag marks.
Bloodstains, barely visible. Someone was dragged. No, but another.
Okay. Why is this still showing up here? There's nothing here. Strange.
Bloodstains. Almost faded. But the line's taut. Something's not right.
Something's not right, girl.
What? Gotta jump.
The dwarven spirit there. There are some things that you need dwarven spirit for early on for crafting. It's used for a lot of the decoctions and things. Gonna make sure we pick everything up as we're going along. Nothing much here, just a couple of mushrooms. I get the feeling that there was more around here, but I can't remember. Let's have a look. Oh no, nothing else.
Bracelet. Lovely.
Right. So now I've just got to go and set up to fight the Wraith. Now I don't have any armor obviously, so normally you have a resistance, so it will reduce the damage that the Wraith deals to you. So you just have to be mindful that we don't have that right now. Won't be very long and then we'll take this on. We'll go and take the Wraith on straight away. And then we've just a couple of things to finish up in White Orchard. One or two more subquests. And then we should be good to go.
Prepare for this fight. Brew some wraith oil.
There's normally a chest around here, but I may have got that already. Oh no, there it is. So we've got the Wraith oil applied already. Already looted out this place on a previous trip through. So we're just going to go and take on the Wraith. Sell those hides later. Right. And here we go. I did actually forget to meditate there, so never mind. I just have to take this on. I think I've got one Tawny Owl, so I'll have to see how this goes. Can't do a lot until you've actually put Erden down, so we'll just get Gwen on first. Gonna have to be careful here. I'm not sure how much damage she does without having any armor on. We got some good hits in there, so that should be alright. Just need to have good patience. And Gourmet will just be able to deal enough, have enough healing in place. And she goes down fairly quickly. There she go. So not so bad, and we managed to do that only using the one Tornial potion as well. So that was very useful, and that just means that we'll be okay for meditating next time, and saved us an alcohol there. So now we've just got to find out what else I need to clear out on White Orchard. Now I can go ahead and fight the Griffin and everything else. So return to Odolan for a reward, but I also want to things first, clear out all these last question marks. It shouldn't take too long, and then I can go from there. So I'm just going to go and do that first. So that went about as well as that can typically go. That should be fine. So there's a few other things that I want to find. All of the recipes and things like that will be randomly distributed in the chests. So where you want Hangman's Venom and the Beast Oil, but you have no control over where you get them. So those from a herbalist if they have those available. But for now, because I explore pretty much everything, I'll just try and get most of the chests, and hopefully find those randomly fairly soon, so that can deal a little extra damage to humans and beasts. Now it's not going to be as much of a key concern as it is normally, because usually I use the protective coating ability, which reduces damage by 25% and is one of the best abilities in the game. But without having armor to actually 5% resistances on, I'll be more focusing on not taking the hits in the first place. So it matters a little bit less. And protective coating's not something I'll be trying to get urgently and making as much use of, so it doesn't really matter as much that I don't have those oils. So I just have to focus on where I need to get now and clear these out. So I want to be heading this way. And find a way up here. Once I get like a plain shirt and the clothes that you have to wear to meet the Emperor, so that we're not a naked Geralt, but I'll not be using cat skull techniques or anything like that, so I think I need to cross this bridge here actually. We'll not be using cat skull techniques or anything like that, so it's just the same as having no armor. Okay. On we go. Had to run around a little bit there, but never mind. There's a few things that I was thinking about doing later on in the playthrough. I may get rage management so that I can use adrenaline to cast signs. That's a very useful ability to have, particularly if you're not in a signs focused build. Just going to cast Quen there before we go into battle, and I can take these guys out. And they're already going down fairly quickly. Because of that extra damage you have from muscle memory. Get the odd Quen sign cast in there as well. Now there is a few pickups of things down well, but I'm not entirely sure that I can be bothered doing that, going down there to get them. I may do. Have I got everything on this side that I need first? Yeah. If I remember correctly, we come across that undiscovered location as part of another quest anyway. Where is it that we need to meet Dune? Ah, it's down there. So it might be this place of power that we come across actually as part of that quest, because we searched. I'll go and clear this one out first, and then lastly I'll have to get these ones at the top. I need to clear out my inventory at some point really, so that you can pick up all the junk here and be able to sell it. I may just leave that and just leave the stuff as it is. Let's go on that way. Grab these while we're down here. Have we visited here already? Probably. Yeah, we've been here already. Oh no.
Looking for trouble?
Slight problem here in that I'm fight without having meditated, so I don't have the potions, so I'll have to be a little bit more careful here. If I can get far enough away, it might let me meditate, but I doubt it. Yeah. Oh, that's alright. Meditate and get those sorted like that. As long as you're looting everything, there's no reason on the alcohol. You can always meditate pretty much whenever you want. And take out these necrophages. If you can get them all grouped together and then cast Igni on them all at once, that's a very useful trick, because you can sometimes burn more of them than just one. And then keep your distance to dodge a lot and get Quinn back up. That one should get finished off by the poisoning that the Viper Swords will do. We're able to take those out without too much incident.
Ghoul nest. Destroy it.
You can sometimes get another ghoul will appear after you've destroyed the nest, but I don't want to meditate to try and make it come out because I don't want to waste another alcohol for no reason. It's only 75 experience points, so not the biggest deal in the world. And then these will be the last places that we have to sort out, and then we can go and fight the Griffin.
You're here, good. Now,
Off we go. If you're watching this on YouTube, it was just from Twitch and then ported over, so apologies for the quality or lack thereof if something's missing. You can pick up a lot of these swords and sell them, but because I haven't emptied my inventory, I won't be doing that right away. I may come back for some of them after, but I think I may just leave it for this playthrough in the interest of aesthetics. Okay, so that one's poisoned. You can see there that my gourmet has actually run out, so set something healing up there. and that'll make healing last for 20 minutes, which is really good. Unfortunately, you can't reapply oils through the menu, so just have to be watching that. But at least these this ghoul is taking damage whilst it's had the bleeding inflicted, or the poisoning inflicted rather. It's able to do that. Let's pick up some of these swords, but I'll probably end up just throwing them away later.
Doesn't look anything like you. Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastion, boy?
So we've got to find these red shields and examine them.
Neighbour's son.
That him?
No. Neighbour's son. Hussar, can you smell Bastion, boy?
Okay.
Skin's burned off.
Come on,
Might be
Hussar.
hard to tell, I
Can you
know,
smell
but
Bastion, boy?
could this be him?
There's a ghoul over there as well.
We found him. Hussar's caught his scent. Come on.
Now I'll head over and get that place of power as well. Using the ability points just yet. I've already used the ones I've got so far, and I only have 2 slots until you reach level 4. So I'll just be
Fast.
Well, thank
just
you.
be using the points on gourmet and muscle memory so far. And we don't get this slot unlocked until, like I say, level 4. So no point using any more points yet because we've no. Just grab this stuff and then I'll go and get the place of power. Try and burn those there if possible. Just keep dodging whilst you get the stamina back so that you can use Quen and keep Quen up. Now you see that 100% up at the top, that is actually Quen being active. So whilst that is active, I'm going to take the opportunity ignite and try and burn the ghouls, which I was able to do. And I should be able to take this one out without using any more potions, which we did. So that was ideal. Pretty much how we want to be going about most of the fights, so that's good.
Ghoul nest. Ought to just destroy it.
Okay, now again, you will sometimes get another ghoul come out, and then, yeah, if you fight that, it will get you some extra experience points. You normally get 75 on Deathmarch, I believe. And if you're able to inflict burning on something with Igni, then you want to make sure you just leave it until the burning actually finishes, because if you hit them with sword, then it will stop them burning. And the burning does more damage than your sword strikes does. And it also lets your stamina regenerate while you just stand there. As long as you're not guarding, your stamina regeneration will be pretty quick. And so that's a good way to go about it for that as well. So we're going to come here and see which side of the gate it is that we need to be on. We may have to come all the way back round here for these ones. I can't remember which side the gate is actually on, so we'll have a see. On we go. That's about half hour, so I haven't decided how long we're going to be keeping these, but I'll just play it as and when time allowing. So I may just call this here as an episode. But first, I think it'd be better if I just fast travel just to get to the other side of this bridge and say I'll pick up these last 3 undiscovered locations. So again, apologies if the sound isn't particularly brilliant quality or anything like that. I'm just trying to play it from Twitch as we go. But hey, it's better than nothing. I can get that down. These honeycombs are useful because you can hit them with Igni, and then you can sell them to Tolmira, the herbalist, and she buys them for a decent amount of money. That can actually be pretty good. I must have already picked that one up.
Giddy up.
On we go. Now, I do remember that one of two of these undiscovered locations have a lot of wolves, and wolves are some of the most dangerous enemies that you fight in White Orchard, so I'll have to be a little bit careful there. I would much rather fight bandits than wolves. Try and get them burned early on, and just make sure that we are keeping Quen up.
Come on, come closer.
Because like I say, they do pretty decent damage. At least they go down a couple of hits with the muscle memory skill that we've got. Just got to be careful that you don't take many hit dodging. That warg was very difficult to see there as well. But Gourmet will very easily take care of most of that damage, so we're okay so far. See, Igni doesn't do a lot of damage by itself, but if you can actually get them burnt, then the burning does deal a lot of damage. So, okay, again, but yeah, you do have to be careful and just be mindful of the fact that fighting a lot of the wolves together can be pretty tricky early on. So, just bear that in mind. And then we've got the decoction, Wraith decoction, which is a useful one to use actually kind of no armor playthrough. I think I'll be making some use of that later. But for now I don't want to max out my toxicity using a decoction. Because if you use a decoction, then anything above that 70 toxicity will hurt you. Unless you get the heightened tolerance or acquired tolerance skills, which I don't want to be doing just yet. We go. Just going to ride straight past these wolves. They don't give any good rewards in and of themselves. Nothing to really watch out for there. Just need to stop and meditate soon. Just to go back. Okay, on we go. So now I've got the Tawny back, which will prove useful when these wolves turn up after I've looted everything here, which they pretty much always do as far as I'm aware.
Wind's howling.
It's howling, always is. And then on we go. Didn't get attacked by the wolves there, so that's good. I don't have to bother with those. Always try and have Quen up before you go into battle. Make sure we take out this guy. We don't have the skill for deflecting arrows yet, so just want to hang on and try and take out the archers before they cause a problem. that's poisoned him at least as well. These guys, it's much easier to try and use Axie to get a good hit on him. And also lets you sometimes get an execution as well, which is good. This will complete Dirty Funds. Normally before doing that quest with Dune to find his brother, I would have got rid of some inventory space, but not overly fussed about doing it. I'll need less money in this playthrough anyway, because I'll not be making armors and things like that, so that'll be less important. Yeah, so that's going to be the limit. I'm just going to leave these things for now. You don't get too much money for them, and like I say, need less crafting materials than usual anyway. Grab the other stuff that doesn't have weight. And if that's everything, then I may just stay overburdened until I can go and sell some stuff, and then call that the end of the episode before I go and do the Griffin, which seems like a pretty good idea. If you ever get overburdened and you want to still move a little bit quicker, you can punch and then just dodge a lot. Bit more alkahest is always good. Seeing as I'm overburdened already, might as well grab all this stuff now. A little bit more coin, and then I will ride back to the village. Come on, Roach. Let's get her off the mini-map so she can respawn. She's very awkward. Okay, so there is some perfect timing, as there are some more of those, and I'll just ride back now. Just go and collect my reward from Odolan first. As long as Roach doesn't get scared and bucks you off, you should be easily able to outrun any wolves or wild dogs. Just going to ignore those. If they were neckers or something like that that can give useful rewards, I probably would still take them out, but there's no point when they're just don't give anything particularly useful. Now this first contract, the Devil in the Well, when you collect the reward, it's actually much better to not take the money, because it's such a pitifully small amount of money, and he gives you a gemstone if you decline to take the reward, and the gemstone is worth a lot more than the actual reward itself. Again, just a little bit overburdened, so need to sell some stuff before we go and fight the Griffin. Although you wouldn't be overburdened in the actual combat, so. Just to recap, we've got all the places of power and everything else. Just going to tell him to keep the coin. And I think you get slightly more experience for that option as well. But that amethyst is worse than 20. So you just want to be doing that instead. Going to go and sell some stuff. And then we'll be carrying on and finishing off White Orchard. That's pretty much everything done that I wanted to do. It's mainly just the Viper Swords and all of the places of power. Absolutely fine. He's out of coin.
So long.
Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast travel, take out some of the, sell some stuff, get rid of as much as possible, and then I'll be back to carry on with episode 3. Nope, this was episode 3, back to carry on with episode 4. I'll just see if I can get rid of some of this stuff quickly first. I'll just extend it this little bit, do this first. Like I say, this is just like a live stream playthrough show. Okay. I think what I will actually do is I'll just put this stuff in my stash just to save a bit of time. I'll just put these stuff in my stash and then I can grab them out later. I'll just buy a third decoy card from the innkeeper if at all possible, because she sometimes has more than one. It's always good to get 3 as soon as possible. Okay. She doesn't have enough money left for me to be able to buy anything anyway. I don't want to be spending tons of money on items, so 58 for a baked potato, are you serious? Bit crazy. Right, so we're just going to stash all this stuff. I can pull it out and sell it later. Not going to be able to use those for some time, so they're just wasting space. I'll sell some of this stuff when we get to Velen and things like that. Okay.
Yes. Good. And the what up, Griffin?
So we're going to take out the Griffin. And we've got the Buckthorn already and done everything there, so ready to move on everything in White Orchard.
I'm big. Good.
I can get myself some clothes from Vizima as well, which is always useful. Run, Roach. Might be some stuff down here that I've forgotten to pick up actually. Let's have a look. Ah, seashells. They're really good because you can dismantle them and sell them. The pearl that you get is quite valuable. So if you get any shells or seashells, you should always make sure that you dismantle those and then sell them. So many intricate things that you can learn. So much to remember, even on a subsequent playthrough when you think you know what you're doing. So, just going to apply some hybrid oil. Need to get rid of those saddles as soon as possible because they weigh a ton. So, okay, so we're going to make sure that we've meditated. We've got Tawny Owl and Swallow there as well. The Griffin's quite interesting. Just needs a bit of patience when you're playing it on No Armour. Well, I imagine, because I've not played it on No Armour yet, but we will have a see.
It's close.
Right, off we go.
Stop. Watch out.
So, coin up first. Make sure that we've got... And that's why. Make sure that we've got Gourmet active, and I used one of the apple juice that we got. Now I just need to take this thing out, knock it down with the crossbow, and can get some good hits in. It's going to take a bit more patience for this fight. I want to try and burn it if at all possible as well. And that'll do excellent damage, but then Vesemir very unhelpfully hits it. Never mind. Just let my stamina recharge. You don't want to be guarding if at all possible, because that makes your stamina regeneration slower. So I'll get some good fire damage on there again. And use the Tawny Owl just to be able to keep Gwen up. And you can see that the poisoning that we got there does a ton of damage as well. So, thing escaping. That first part went pretty well. Didn't even have to use Swallow or anything like that. And when Roach turns up, we'll go and hunt the Griffin down. You can reapply oils in combat. The regular oils don't last very long at all, so they're only 20 hits. So that's one advantage of getting the enhanced and later the superior oils, is they last a lot longer, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. You can just reapply them whenever. So we just got to take out the last bit of this thing's health. Okay, so we've still got Gwen on here, so I'm just going to try and use Igni. Get some more fire damage on it. And then use the Tawny Owl again to be able to get some hits in safely with Gwen. And then heal up. So used Swallow there as well. Get rid of the leaping attack there. And this is the problem with if you do take any attacks with Gwen not being active, you will take a fair bit of damage. So get some good hits in there. And didn't get the burning effect unfortunately that time. Okay, so use the last Tawny Owl there. I should get one more Igni off pretty easily. Didn't inflict any burning again. Just have a more patient style of playthrough with this No Armour. So, managed to take out the Griffin there pretty easily. Get the trophy, and then go and report to the Nilfgaardian captain. And finally finish off this area of the game and go into Vizima. So yeah, those are pretty much the key staples for if you're playing a sort of dodging style. Keeping Gwen up, trying not to take too much damage, and inflict poisoning with the Viper Sword wherever possible. Making use of the basic potions. So you can one of the things that people sometimes neglect is, even if you don't have any alchemy skills, you can still make really good use of the basic potion toxicity. You don't start taking damage until you're at 70 toxicity. So basically you always have 70 toxicity points to play with, even if you don't have any alchemy skills. Although there are some alchemy skills that make it very, very easy to use alchemy effectively with very few skill points. Mainly acquired tolerance. That's the main one. There are a few that I may look into as well, like Frenzy and Poison Blades can be particularly useful if you've got a style that involves dodging and everything else. So, if you don't take the money here, then you get more experience points, so I'll be doing that. I'd rather have experience on Deathmarch because you end up with a lot of money anyway, especially considering I'll not have to be creating any gear or anything like that in a No Armour playthrough. So, yeah, you can go to hell. Okay, so that should be everything done. Let's have a quick check. No undiscovered locations on the marker, so that's good. And we've got all of the Gwent cards and everything that we need as well. Everything completed so far.
We have much work to do here.
Waiting on you, Roach. Come on, sweetie. Okay, so at some point I'll need to be calling this a day for the next episode. Like I say, I'm just playing as long as I can each time. And just cutting off the episodes where convenient. So we'll see where we're up to now. Go this way, go into the map. I normally end up somewhere about 70% of the way to level 4 on less experience. So that is something that you have to bear in mind. You get 80% of the experience that you would do normally. And on easier difficulty, you do get a higher amount as well. When we get to level 4, we get another ability slot, and I'll be using that for the arrow. Put 3 points in that. I don't often try and manually knock the arrows back because it's difficult to do, but just the level 1 skill of deflecting them while guarding is useful. And also it'll give us enough points to get to undying and fleet-footed on the second row, which obviously go really well with a no armor type of playthrough. Now I've just meditated there because I'll be about to get into a fight here again. And I want my potions back for this fight because it's a very compressed little area and it's a pain in the neck, so I need to be being careful there. Something wrong? Yes, Geralt, you sat there in your underpants with a sword on your back. That's what's wrong. So I'm going to skip this bit and then straight away I'm going to use a bomb. So that's a really good tactic if you're ever in close quarters like that. A bomb is a really good way of stunning the enemies. Makes it a lot easier to deal with this bit. Okay. Used a couple of salmon there. Always forget about bombs, but they are very useful. So Geralt. Why anyone would attack a witch, I have no idea. I like how she's when Geralt's there in his underpants, but yeah. Okay, off we go.
Emperor. Well, I did.
Fine.
The Emperor.
Off we go.
How's your? I'd like.
And that's level 4. It's very convenient. With 3 points available, you can put those into the archery skill. So just skipping everything out here.
This bard's tale begins near White Orchard, with my dear friend Geralt of Rivia seeking his lover of yore, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead. After many trials and tribulations, Geralt finally learned that Yen was in nearby Vizima.
It must suffice.
Okay, so this is just the last part I'm just going to do for this particular section. And I'll finally get some clothes for Geralt to wear that don't have any armour, so that's good. Just got things here.
I got it. Something.
These are all the choices you make. in Witcher 2. Not actually played Witcher 2, I need to do that eventually, but never mind. And we'll kill Letho so that we don't have to bother with that area of the quest, because that quest takes a lot longer. I'm just going to grab all of these. Which do I want to wear? That one's alright. They're all the same. So you see I can use these because they have no armor rating. That 4 armor will make no difference whatsoever, and they have no resistance. So I can use things like that. Okay.
Please walk. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman. Come with me. The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate title.
Your arch magnificency.
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will see.
Yeah, the Emperor doesn't really have a sense of humour, so never mind. There's some stuff you can grab down here. I don't know if it's actually worth it, but I can't remember. Slide down the banister, why not? Most definitely it was not worth it. Ah, well, a Dwarven Spirit, that makes it a little bit more worth it, I suppose. These bits are so boring when you're doing a replay. Never mind. So we just got to skip through all this stuff now. Get Cyrilla. Off we go.
If the gentleman pleases, please keep close. There are many honorable guests in the palace, whom the gentleman
Disgusts.
need not bother.
Do I want that armour? Oh well, can't change it at the minute anyway. Okay, so we're ready to start Velen, and the first thing I'm going to do in Velen is the same as if you've watched my Death March walkthrough. Starting at episode 2 of that is where you can go and get the saddlebags and the saddle from the Hearts of Stone DLC, and that'll be extremely useful because it's purely for convenience. You can just have a much higher what's the word? Inventory space. You don't have to waste time selling things, picking them up and all that kind of stuff. And we'll have even more inventory space to work with than usual because we won't have any armour taking up weight. I'll just have these clothes, which I believe are very light, so that'll be worth doing. And on we go. Now you could pick up all this stuff as well, but might as well just grab some of it. It's free stuff. You can sell the to a gentleman in Novigrad, Marcus, in his bookshop, and that's a good little place to be able to do that as well. Horse hides are quite heavy but relative to other items, but they're also relatively valuable, so worth having.
Geralt, I can now. Look.
Ah, Ciri.
But let
Right, so we're off to find Cyrilla in Velen, and like I say, the first thing we're going to do is go and get the places of power.
the trail.
And then after that, we're going to go and get the saddle and the saddlebags first, sorry, and then we'll go and get the places of power.
It isn't.
Not
Same.
Let's
Geralt,
go.
I should-
So Yen's going to teleport herself off through a portal. We are going to try and beat a guy in Gwent who has a really good leader card, although he's quite difficult to beat. And then we'll be carrying on with the story and everything else. Might as well get these books just for a little bit of extra income. Don't want to miss any potion formulae, alchemy formulae or anything like that, as they're all very useful. Well, I say they're all useful, they're kind of useful. They're worth having just for the boost from acquired tolerance. You want to have every alchemy thing that you can. Right, so here, we get our gear back, and then we're going to play this guy at Gwent. Going to add the decoys in. Add Zoltan. Take out the poor infantry cards. Right. Now this guy is very difficult to beat, so I wouldn't bet him a lot, and be prepared to do a few different games against him. You may struggle to beat him. It largely depends on what cards you get and everything else. So that's a pretty good draw. Pretty good. And with that, it's good enough. It should be good enough. Let's try. Can take his spy cards from him and try and get more cards. That spy, or I can just win with one card outright, which is what I'm going to do. Now it doesn't really matter as much if I'm not able to win this one. Just make him lose some cards, bleed some cards out. So now he's used his Scorch cards, and I'm saving these ones for later on. So hopefully I should be able to win this in the last round. Oh, he's going to play the spy back. That's annoying. This got a little more difficult. Okay, so should be alright because I think I have the leader card that clears the weatherer, so let him put some stuff down. Oof. It's going to be difficult to beat. Very difficult to beat. I think I've lost this one. And difficult to beat. So he's played all his cards now. And I still lose, I think. Yeah, still lose. By 1 point. Damn. And this is why this guy is difficult to beat. And why we don't bet him a lot. But you can beat him, as you can see there, if I'd got a little bit more fortunate. Or if you'd have played that spy card earlier to decoy it back. So it is possible. This is going to be more difficult if I don't get a decoy card here. Oh, that might be okay. Need a decoy really, or my medic. I don't get it. Damn. Well, try anyway. Now, depending on what I get for the card for winning, I might get my medic card. But that's pretty much the only way I'm going to win this, really. No. Okay. In all likelihood, I'm going to lose this one, but he just has very good cards, so you have to be patient and get a little lucky. Like to have three decoys in your deck and not get a single one of them is quite unlucky. So now he has a lot more cards than me, so probably going to be losing there. Yeah, not looking so good in this one, but never mind. That's why we only bet him one crown. Unless he has very weak cards the rest of the way, we will lose this one. Never know. Yeah, I think we lose this. Definitely lose. Oh well. Right, okay, so I'm going to call it there, I think. Just going to play this guy one more time, and then that'll be the end of this episode, and we'll pick it back up later. So, thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Okay, so managed to beat him there, and definitely going to be where I call it for this one. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe for more videos. And if you're able to beat that guy, you will be able to get the leader card that doubles your siege for once in a game, which is excellent. Last thing, just going to pick up this bit here. And then move on to Velen. Get free saddle there. And off we go. Okay, so thank you for watching, and like I say every time, I will see you next time this playthrough, and I'll see you next time on the path.
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited, but something even more important happened in Vizima. Geralt learned that Cirilla, his one-time ward, had returned from afar, and she was in danger. He was to find her at the Emperor's command and nest.